Well, everybody, happy Pride season now. Because Pride now has a season instead of a month. It's now a season. They ruin our summer by us being subjected to a bunch of naked men in public wagging their penises around and not get arrested. Because that's totally normal. They are allowed to get away with the sickest abominations you could ever imagine on the streets of our tax-paying cities. We pay the taxes, and they're allowed to get away with this debauchery on our streets. It's our streets. Like that one freak who wraps himself with cellophane in front of kids because that's normal. So this all now has a season. Thank you to our lovely Canadian communist government. Pride season is a term that refers to the wide range of pride events that take place over the summer. They completely wreck our summer. Completely. June to September. Because now it's a season here in Rainbow Unicorn Land when two LGBTQI plus. Oh my gosh. How many more acronyms do they need? Communities and allies come together to spotlight the resilience, because being a tranny, being gay, is being resilient. You're tough. To celebrate the talent and recognize the contributions of the Alphabet Peoples Plus communities. Although special attention is put on pride events during the summer months, they happen throughout the year. Exactly. Do you see the problem here? They happen throughout the year. It's oh my gosh. Oh yeah, they happen throughout the year. It's 24/7 of complete indoctrination. And I'm completely offended by this degenerate symbol right here. This completely degenerate rainbow symbol of desecration. They have taken our flag and completely desecrated it. And that's okay. They often fly, right? The rainbow flag next to the actual Canadian flag. I've heard in certain circumstances that they have removed the Canadian flag and put this rainbow abomination in its place. And people are okay with that. Here's another joke. Emergency fund that will help Pride organizers cover increased security at our expense, Canadian taxpayers' expense, because being there and speaking out against this degenerate agenda somehow warrants more security. Although nobody actually touches them, it's the other way around. People like myself, when you confront them, they assault you. And where are the police? Well, they got their rainbow outfits on. In certain places in Canada, they're being indoctrinated. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Toronto police that are forced to watch rainbow unicorn indoctrinating videos and how to be more inclusive and more diverse. More taxpayers' dollars. Federal LGBT. Oh, I said it wrong. 2S LGBTQ plus action plan.
November 2017. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau delivers a formal historic apology on behalf of Canada for discrimination against LGBTQ2 people in our country. This is a catalyst for progress. This apology is rapidly followed by the adoption of legal protection for gender identity and gender expression under the Canadian Human Rights Act. That same year, the Government of Canada creates the LGBTQ2 Secretariat. The Secretariat helps keep the government informed on issues that are important to communities.
Because this is totally important to communities. Come to my community. You're not going to see this stuff laced all over the place. What communities are they referring to? There are no communities. Ugh.
It also helps integrate related considerations into the everyday work of the Government of Canada. In 2018, a new law is passed to make sure that those convicted of crimes unfairly, including LGBTQ2 people...
So that includes things like pedophilia, because they often practice that. In fact, a lot of these quote, LGBT so-called, right? All right, they're into, pedophilia, right? They like underage kids. They also are into things like bestiality, believe it or not. Here in Canada, there's no law. You can have sex with animals, and there's no law. So all those people that have been locked away in jail, they get a pardon, right? That's okay now, here in Rainbow Unicorn Land, because Justin Trudeau says so. You can't make this stuff up.
Would be able to have their convictions removed from the record.
How sick is that? Have their convictions removed from the record. So people that have been in jail, that have been placed in jail for heinous crimes, against children, against animals, you name it, are being released because they're LGBTQ? Come on, man.
In 2019, the Government of Canada creates the first federal program dedicated to LGBTQ2 communities and organizations advancing rights and equality. At the start of 2022, conversion therapy is criminalized in Canada.
Conversion therapy, that's another separate video. Conversion therapy. It's funny, the people that were doing, quote, conversion therapy are government employees and government workers, not the pastors. Nope. It's physical government workers. They're lying. Then again, is your government ever honest? No.
August 2022, we're continuing to build on its progress, working together with communities to strive towards a more...
Like I said, come to my community. I'm not seeing any progress. It's actually kind of nice because in my community, I'm not seeing any rainbow flags. I'm not seeing any tranny flags. I haven't even seen a tranny. Go figure.
Equal and inclusive Canada.
I love inclusive Canada. Not inclusive for us, right? But inclusive for them, suggesting that it wasn't inclusive before. More lies.
To that end, we're thrilled to present Canada's first federal 2S LGBTQI+ action plan, building our...
Say that 5 times fast. 2S LGBTQ... no, can't do it. 2S LGBTQI+. Action plan, building our future with pride.
Future with pride. The Federal Action Plan is a guided approach to improve 2S LGBTQI+ equity in collaboration with federal departments and agencies. So, what's in the plan?
More indoctrination.
It focuses on 6 priority areas. Prioritize and sustain community action.
The goals of sustainable development kind of sounds like... yeah. Gender equality. Welcome to the Great Reset. Get that in your mind. It hasn't gone anywhere. This is all part of the same thing. Alright? Wow.
To advance and strengthen
Look at that.
Yeah. Support Indigenous resilience and resurgence.
Okay.
Engage everyone in Canada in fostering an inclusive future.
Inclusive futures, once again suggesting that it wasn't inclusive before, because sexuality has everything to do with your identity, correct? Since when do we identify ourselves with our sexuality? It doesn't make any sense to me. When I walk into a store, it's not like, hey, I announce myself as straight. What does that have to do with anything? But they feel the need to push that. Nobody actually does it, but they feel the need to push it, right? It's called indoctrination, correct? Right? You're being played and have been played for many, many years. People like myself have been warning the masses, about the transpocalypse. And guess what? I hate to say I told you so.
Strengthen data and evidence-based policymaking. Embed community issues into...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Our army. Not that it matters, but, not that our army is all that good in the first place. Now we have a bunch of femboys. Yeah, we've got a bunch of queer homos who take it up the rear end, protecting us against the big bad boogeyman. I mean, anybody can just walk in Canada and they're gonna wave their flags. Stop. Give me a break.
Work of the Government of Canada, and so much more, based on the largest public consultation with 2S LGBTQI+ communities in Canadian history.
Bunch of trannies running the show.
The action plan is a guide that will inspire and inform Canada's actions towards equality for
years to come.
Learn more about our action plan at canada.ca/federal-2SLGBTQI-plus.
I wonder how many people have actually gone to that website. Probably nobody. And this is a message from your Canadian government, Rainbow Unicorn Land, Canada. Lovely stuff. Alright, on that note, now that you've been thoroughly indoctrinated with Canadian doctrine, I bid you farewell, God bless,